feel so hard, and a lion slowly forming like a boulder in my heart. So if you wanna fucking friend me, better give me all you got. No, I don't take this lightly, 'cause it's heavy, heavy friendly. There is an eagle flying.
Yeah!
Welcome back to another episode of Heavy Friending.
What?
This is season 3, episode 4.
Is that right?
Yeah. Season 3, episode 4. Very special episode for us.
I feel like your energy is like
it's always
off-putting to me.
special for season 3, episode 4. Everybody knows that in the biz. This is a friendship podcast. It's Austin's #1 friendship-based podcast. My name is Laura Lee Bishop, and I'm sitting here with my co-host, Joe Barlow.
I feel like you're gasping for air. What's
Am I?
going on? Yeah, you're like really projecting.
There's a lot
You have
going
one
on.
thumb in a pocket.
Yeah,
I don't know why you're in a Gap
I'm
ad
saddled
right
up.
now.
I'm saddled up.
That's not what they
Saddled
would say.
up and ready to go, Daddy.
Okay. Welcome to GoDaddy.com's
Yes.
#1 friendship podcast.
Thank you for sponsoring us and for all the amazing domain names that you offer.
You know the movie Minority Report?
Oh my God, I've seen it a bunch of times. Actually,
Okay,
I really
you know how
like
there's
it.
pre-crime?
Yes.
GoDaddy.com
There's also a thing
is
called pre-cum.
Okay. Wow, we're
I
coming
wonder
in
if you
hot.
get arrested for. I wonder if there's
okay.
pre-cum, pre-crime.
All right.
what I mean?
What I was going to say is
All right.
they're a pre-advertiser. They will advertise on
Oh,
the
yes,
show
definitely,
in the future.
definitely.
They currently aren't giving us
Yeah.
revenue. We're doing
They will
this.
pre-cum on the show in the future too.
Oh gosh!
And
wow.
as a
This is like,
precog,
won't stop. with you.
precog, I can tell you that.
It's
I know
just
it
too
will
much.
happen.
It's honestly, it's a little much.
I don't know
for me.
if it is because
What
I
if
feel
someone
like we
just woke up and this is the first thing they do is they pop on the pod?
Okay, well that's sweet.
And then you're sort of like gasping,
energizing their day.
You're gasping, and you're talking about pre-cum, like
First
like that.
of all,
like
if
like
this is the first thing you listen to when you wake up, that is so sweet.
Thank you, GoDaddy.com.
I love it.
Thank you,
so
GoDaddy.
much, and I love you for listening so much.
Yeah.
Second of all, if it is the first thing you're listening to, hey, you have a
Morning.
great day.
What are you gonna do? Some OJ? Some coffee?
Oh, yes.
Maybe a half bagel?
Ooh, that would be nice.
There's a
Or
lot
one
of
those,
carbs if you
one
do
of
the
those
whole
thin,
bagel,
those
but-
thin bagels, but a whole one.
Those aren't good.
But it's thin, right?
It's thin, but that's why I would say just eat half a bagel and you'll feel
Nothing tastes
good.
as good
As
as
the
being
thick
skinny feels.
THICC.
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying the opposite.
Oh, okay.
I was
as
saying
a thick bagel.
eat it thick.
I love bagels. Let's talk
Yeah.
about bagels. Let's talk more about them. It's hard to find a good bagel in this town.
That's what they say, but I think I found some good ones.
What's the name? Nervous Charlie's. You ever been there?
If you've ever been to Austin, Texas, yeah, maybe you've been to Nervous Charlie's.
It's they have great bagels there.
I don't know where that is. I've been to Holy Bagel,
I've been there too, yeah.
and it's spelled not like
you expect.
heavenly.
Typical.
It's like W.
Yeah. If we could spell our podcast name in a different way, how would we spell it?
Heavy friending. Well, probably a silent P
Oh, okay.
and then heavy.
But instead of, it would have a V in there.
Heavy.
Yeah, because the word heavy doesn't have a V. We put a V in
Oh,
it.
and then we could do, instead of the Y for heavy, we do IE, and the I has a heart for the
Oh,
dot.
I love that.
Thank
I love
you.
that. Mhm.
And then you can spell friending however you'd like.
Yeah. How it's spelled FREE. And
And ing.
it's a great word.
Guys,
Friends.
this is a spelling podcast. GoDaddy.com. That's GoDaddy with a heart dot, which is a heart.
CUM.
Oh no, we just lost them.
I wonder if there are any .coms out there.
Do you want to type it in?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm going to type it in.
Guys, I'll tell you about this show.
Yeah,
Laura and
yeah.
I, we didn't know each other. We didn't like each other. And then we started a podcast, and it was really an experiment, and it was done for science, and it was done for mankind, and it was done for the alien overlords. They would come and learn about human society by listening to each episode of our podcast. And lo and behold, after a certain number of episodes, we became friends.
Best friends, actually.
We're actually wearing matching shirts right
we are.
now.
And for no reason at all.
Well, I thought we were going to talk about it, but you
Okay,
have
no, we
results to the .com question?
Yeah, there is no such thing. And
What did you search for?
well, first I just did .com to see like if something would be like, did you mean cum.com or something.
Cum.com? You thought that was
that would
a
be
website?
great. I don't know. Should I see if
do you think
cum.com?
there's com.com?
Well, then I taught GoDaddy.cum.
Type in com.com.
There is com.com for
What is
sure.
it?
I don't know, but there's got to be com.com.
Okay. What is it? GoDaddy.
It's something. Welcome. It's a search engine type thing. I don't fucking know. Oh. Yeah. So see?
Okay.
Okay. So I thought, well, cum.com. Checks out to me.
Com.com is not a website.
Well, I don't think it is. Well, I'll try it right
is
now.
org.org? I just feel like we need to run down the list because we need to
Okay.
educate people.
Gov.gov.
Well, that's a government.
Okay. I typed cum.com and I got cum-cum-mania. 2002 recording.
Cum-mania.
Bye.
Cum-mania. You're my butterfly.
Sugar.
So
Okay. No. Yeah. There's no
what
cum.com.
about gov.gov? Org.org? Just real
Are we
quick.
gonna
And then
have to do
net.net.
that?
And that's the
I
last.
don't
These
wanna
are the
do
top
it.
ones.
Okay, org.org. What are we getting? See, I got a slow internet too, so it's like as I'm waiting.
You got to
waiting,
get.
it's
You got to
supposed
get
just-
fiber. You got to get the fiber.
I've tried a million things. I've told you about my fucking debacle with these fucking internet people.
Okay, I don't.
It's still loading.
Now's not the time. Well, maybe it's your computer.
It's not my computer. We have to take our phones off the Wi-Fi all the time. It sucks. Our
Wi-Fi.
internet sucks. I'm always resetting it. They've brought new equipment.
All right, guys.
You
Sorry,
know-
you're gonna have to type in cum.com on your own time because
we found the answer. To that.
okay, you're gonna have to type in
gov.gov and
org.org and
org.org.
gov.gov, and please tweet at us or Instagram us, like whatever. But we need to know,
whatever.
and we'll still be loading it by the time
Yeah.
this episode comes out, and I'm pissed about it.
Yeah. We have a new date now. Our episodes come out on Wednesdays, and
Yeah.
let's just do a little quick housekeeping. We never
Hump
do this because
day.
we are not professional a lot of the times. So listen, Heavy Friending, that's a podcast. Give us a like, give us a rating,
yeah.
give us a review. You can find us on social media at Heavy
Subscribe.
Friending
I'm
everywhere.
most concerned about subscribe. I don't give a f about the review or I don't give an f about the rating. Subscribe to the podcast.
Yeah,
Listen
subscribe.
to the podcast.
Please listen to it. Yeah. We actually just talked to someone who's listened to every episode except for three.
So that's
and
pretty
she was
good.
able to name all three that she didn't listen to.
And she also just pulled out. She knew your dog's name. She knew.
Oh my God. When she said that
issues.
must be Ruger, I mean,
Yeah.
it made me excited. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I love when he gets recognition. I was going to say recognition. I don't know. Something's wrong with me.
I agree because you came in real hot for this
Yeah,
episode.
now I'm like starting to deteriorate.
I'm just worried what the GoDaddies are going to say when
Yeah.
they hear this.
Maybe they'll like it.
They might like it because it's kind of like they had Danica Patrick. You and I are kind of like.
that was the burger. No, that was the race car driver, right?
What were you going to say?
Burger person.
A burger person? What does that mean? She's made of
but
ground
they,
beef?
They should make a burger person, or just a person who like has burgers all over them.
All right. I'm just worried about the GoDaddy thing.
Well, we'll get a sponsor eventually one day. It's only 3 years now, or starting the third year. Still waiting on Fleshlight.
Okay. Keep waiting.
You have one though, right? Don't you? Don't you own one?
I was given one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about them? I don't want to put you on the spot.
This is exactly what you're doing.
I don't want to, but I had to.
Obviously,
It's journalism
here's the
101.
thing. There's a cost, right? I think they're expensive. I haven't bought one.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like a personal cost.
There's
a
the shame
cost
you'll
to jerking
feel.
into yeah.
No, so I can't tell you if it would be worth the price. But obviously
Okay.
I tried it. I'm a man of science. This show was founded on scientific principles.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it.
Okay. But is it better than just an average hand situation?
This
that
is
we all
maybe just too much information. I was trying to just maybe leave it
I just want to
there.
know if it was better.
I'm happy to talk to you about this.
Okay. Just not now. I
Just
get it.
not now.
Okay. I get it.
I don't need this on record.
Well, I've been practicing bass a lot because I have a show. I'm playing bass for an artist.
Oh, bass guitar.
Yeah. Bass guitar.
I thought it was
And-
some. I don't. Never mind.
Okay. I've been practicing bass a lot
Slap
for
with
this
the bass,
show. I've been
you know.
slapping the bass. And my fingers are just, they're raw, they're mangled. And it's been a real hindrance for me.
Yeah.
For certain activities I like to do in my free time, my spare time.
Oh,
to
I
help
see
me fall
how it's
asleep.
related to now.
Yeah, I was doing a little, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you're talking
What?
about bass,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, it was too abrupt. But now I
Yeah.
see it was a perfect
Yeah.
connection.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My hands are soft.
They
and,
are. Perfect.
and perfect. They're because they're sort of like fleshy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
you
they're-
agree? Like, I don't think you'd look at me and be like, that guy kind of has a fleshy hand, but I kind of have
Yeah,
a
you
fleshy
do.
palm.
You definitely do. So all y'all out there who've been wondering what it's like, you know what? Maybe we'll do a molds thing if you want to, because how people do like a mold of their vagina or their penis when they do porn.
Yeah.
We could just do one on your hand and people could rub it around down there.
Well, or they could, cradle their butt
Sure,
cheeks
whatever.
or whatever.
Well, that sounds like something you want them to do.
I would like knowing
No
that
one's like cradling their butt with
I
different
would like
things.
that my, knowing that my hands are cradling someone's butt somewhere. That'd
He's
be cool.
a butt man, guys. He likes the bottom.
And that I want on record.
Yeah.
That
and
should
I
be
like
on
that,
record.
yeah.
And I
think
sort
it
of
is,
started
actually.
the butt thing.
What do you mean?
I made butts cool.
When?
I wore
And
a red
how?
hat that said "Make butts great again."
And when?
Way back in the probably
The 1800s.
1800s.
Yeah. Anyway, so listen, guys, we talk about friendship on this podcast. We do different activities
But
every
not
week.
enough. We don't talk about it
Exactly.
enough.
And that's the problem is like, it's always like, we're like, oh, this activity, that activity. And sometimes friendship gets lost in the sauce,
Yeah,
and
because friendship
the
is
sauce.
is
It's
the-
like it's like a spicy meatball and it goes, I don't know why I did it like a Greek thing on it there.
Yeah.
But let me, hang on, wait,
Feta
let me get
cheese.
this. Yeah. Prosciutto, mozzarella. All right, here I go. Those are my touchstones. It's like a spicy meatball got lost in your sauce, in your gravy. Pardon me. That's what we say. Where
New
I'm from.
York now. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not.
That's the only Italian I know.
Yeah.
Vinny Vermicelli here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, friendship is that meatball.
See, friendship
And,
and friendship's like on every episode, obviously, because it's
Well,
hosted
yeah.
by two friends.
And it's Austin's number one friendship based
And
podcast.
it's a friendship-based podcast, so
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, but we don't necessarily explicitly talk about
Yeah, yeah.
friendship as a topic.
Sometimes it's just there. It's like, how they film a movie in New York and they say, New York's another character in the movie.
And they
But
say,
no one's really talking about
Let's
it.
go down to New Orleans, and I'm going to New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
and then,
here.
and then Nolans is a character in the movie, but they don't really
Yeah.
talk about it. So friendship's always here. It's always around. It's always over your
I
shoulder.
wanted to keep doing places
Oh,
and
okay.
doing the voices.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Just give me a place.
Chicago.
Well, I was wanting to deep dish pizza.
Yeah, there's a certain place I could do, but I'm not going to.
Okay, well, why not?
I just think he's been on this podcast enough, and I don't want him to come on this podcast for a while.
Oh,
This particular character.
I know him.
Yeah, he's taking a break, so he's going to
Good.
stay put, and maybe we'll see as the season progresses. But it's nice to leave him wanting more.
Have you gotten negative feedback?
No, I haven't.
Have you gotten positive feedback
Yeah.
ever? Oh,
Yeah, people. I don't know why they like that.
They
And
like
even when
that?
I do it sometimes, like in front of people,
I don't
I'll say
get-
it, and
so
people
people-
always laugh. I think it's so funny.
it is funny, but people don't talk to me about the podcast. What do you think that is?
I think part of it is that you don't like make your friends listen to it or
What do you
tell
mean?
them.
You make your friends listen?
No, but like I'm like, hey, like when it was first coming out, I made sure they rated it and reviewed it, and I was like, please listen,
Yeah.
please listen. You didn't do any of those
you reached
things.
out to people personally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
a bunch of
no, no,
people.
no.
And that's why like most of our patrons are my friends and family members.
I like
And-
people to find out, organically.
But like, so for example, like my sister and her boyfriend or her fiance now, and my mom, and they listen to every single episode.
Yeah.
And they like when we miss a week, my sister will text me and be like, "Where's the episode?" Because she's like, wants to listen
good.
to it. Yeah,
Good.
So it's nice, and it's nice to talk about your mangled masturbation fingers, knowing that your sister's going to listen. It's nice to be open like that. So okay.
Yeah. And good for you.
Yeah, good for me. Very good for me. So yeah, the thing is we don't talk about, sometimes we get away from it. And we have to get back to it. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
what we're
always
doing
there,
today.
but we get away.
Yeah. So
It's
we've got
always
it.
there.
It's always there, but it's not the focus. And today
Let's
it's the focus. We're focusing
We're only
in.
going to, starting now.
Well, I mean, I think pretty much this whole time is all we've been talking about.
Oh, I thought
But we have
went
different
off
ideas.
track,
Okay.
.com, but
Just friendship. And how to make friends.
that's true because we've become experts.
Yes, in fact, people have interviewed us as friendship experts for the actual news, not for some little fluff piece. No, like
Hey, this isn't your
hard-hitting
blog.
journalism. Yeah,
This
isn't
isn't
your
your-
mom's blog.
This isn't a social media influencer.
Yeah, this is
This
the
is
news.
the news. Maybe
Yeah.
you've heard of, even you maybe heard us say the name of this news station.
Yeah.
And we've never said anything untoward about this news station.
Oh, I love this news station.
I do actually love
Yeah.
them. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Were you going to say the news station or what?
Yeah.
KView.
KView.
Yeah, you guys are going to see us on KView as friendship experts. They have some of my favorite newscasters ever.
Here's the thing. I just backtrack before you say some of your
Okay.
favorites because I'm curious who you like.
Okay.
Because I like some people
I've got
too.
definitely some favorites. Yeah.
But I think it's important people know it's not K-View like The View.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Because we did spelling earlier, and I want to make sure we spell this
Oh,
out so you
true.
could Google it and be like, "Oh, heavy friend in K-View," and it's KVU.
I.
What? No, it's not that. It's K. The letter K, V. Now I was confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start over.
Okay.
It's
KAY.
No, the letter K,
Yep.
and this is all uppercase. So I guess I'll say uppercase KVUE.
Yes. And
So,
so,
you wouldn't think it's pronounced that.
yeah. But when you're cool and you're in the know, then you know
'Cause
how to pronounce
you'd think
things
maybe
like that.
K-Vu. Keva?
K-Vu.
K-Vu.
Yeah.
K-Vu?
Yeah.
I don't know what you would say.
Yeah. Anyway, so love that news station.
Who are your
Love the
favorites?
good folks
Who's your
over there.
favorites?
I mean, Chet Whitmire.
Chet Whitmire.
Is that an actual name?
Of course. I
No,
mean,
wait. Is it though? Is that did I just say the name of an actual newscaster at KView? Don't fuck with me. Did I?
I don't know.
Okay, because
Is there
I
a
don't.
Chet- would
I
you
don't
say
know.
Chet Whitmire?
Whitmire just came to my mind as like a joke person, but then you said yeah, and I thought, wait, is Chet Whitmire an actual?
Well,
news
this was
person?
me being agreeable and being nice.
For the first time. Are you Googling it to find out?
Oh, what about Hank Cavanaro?
I love his take on things.
How do you
know?
say his name? Because I feel like there's a lot of
I need to
controversy.
see it to see how I say it.
How do you say that?
Cavagnaro.
Cavanaro. Yeah, so some people say that.
Yeah, that's
Of course,
how
you got Quita Culpepper.
Oh, I love Quita. Quita girl, you are killing it on the news and just killing it in your style game and your overall vibes.
I love her vibes. Here's the thing, though. When you go to the KView Meet the Team website, you got Hank up here, and he's just a reporter. I mean,
What's
nothing
he even
against
doing?
just a
Yeah,
reporter.
yeah.
But then you go down, and then it's Quita. Obviously, she's one of the
She's
main
the
anchors.
head anchor.
But like, Quita's way smaller. Do you see Hank?
It makes you wonder.
Why is her photo
it makes you
smaller?
Wonder.
And then everyone else could fit inside Hank Cavanaro.
Yeah.
What's
It's
going
an
on?
interesting way to put it.
Well, I'm just saying they're photos. Obviously,
Okay.
Brittany Flowers, she's the one who interviewed
B
us.
Flow, what's up?
We like her. And then, yeah,
Homegirl.
there's just a bunch of other names here. What was the one you said, though?
Chet Whitmire. That's got to
Chet.
be a name, right?
No.
I'm going to Google Chet Whitmire, and if it comes up,
Okay. They got some good names.
oh my
over
God,
here.
it is coming up.
Well, of
Chet
course.
Whitmire.
Is it something?
No, it's nothing.
There's a guy named
Fuck.
Jeff Jones.
Listen,
at
if
KView.
y'all,
I like
if
that.
someone out there listening is named Chet Whitmire, please get at me. I want to know what you do for a living, and I just want to know more about you and your life.
Yeah.
And that's a way to make friends. So,
back to the friendship.
so friendship. So we are friendship experts,
we're
and that has
experts.
been
That's
that has
on the
been
TV.
certified by the actual news.
and it hasn't aired yet, but why wouldn't they air it?
Well,
You
Yeah.
said a lot of maybe
you
questionable
said
stuff.
some. Actually, you were the tricky one this time.
What did I
think.
say?
Well, I think because I had been a little bit jolted about some of my previous behavior before we started
yeah.
taping, that I was on my best behavior.
Okay. And I was loose.
And you were loose.
Yeah, what did I
like
say?
it
I
was
don't
like
even
when you
remember.
said she could be the crack and the point. And they
I
kept
think
saying
that's great.
you could be the crack, you could be the crack, and you just kept saying that.
Yeah. Well, out of context, that sounds bad. But
Well,
in
repeating
context,
it still sounds bad.
I think I repeated it so that they knew that I was not making anything weird.
I think you repeated
I just wanted
it,
to hammer it home.
because you were saying you can be the crack, and also you're obsessed with butts. So interesting.
My therapist, when I meet him or her,
Yeah.
is really going to have a field day.
I hope. You know what? I think maybe a female therapist would be best for you, because it is like a mom thing that you need.
I think I want a.
No offense to Robin.
I think I want a team.
That's the first time.
I think I want a team, like a whole
I
group.
don't think that a team would be unjustified for you, for sure. I don't think it's a bad idea.
And maybe gender fluid.
I don't think that's a bad idea either.
Yeah, because then you get it's like the best of all worlds.
Yeah. Maybe let's just stay off of that topic.
Why?
'Cause I just don't want to get in treacherous territory.
I'm saying that would be good. Great.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Friendship. It's. I mean, how do you describe it? Because I say friendship is like a tree.
Okay.
And you're growing different fruit, right?
Yeah.
There's a branch, and maybe two friends are two fruits on a branch.
So I think of friendship as like a jar of pickles. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Let me picture it.
Yeah. You put them in there at first and they're just like raw vegetable. You know what I mean? It's like just an old cucumber. It doesn't have any flavor to it, mostly water. And you put it in there, and then it seals up on itself. Even the heat and the pressure seals that jar up tight, and you can't open it for a while. It's got a pickle.
Marinate in its own juices.
It's got a pickle. Yeah, exactly. And so when it goes in, it's a cucumber. When it comes out, it's a pickle, right? So what it is two friends, they go in, they're just two little cucumbers. They're just two little people. And they come out of pickle. They come out of friend, you know?
Wow. I like that better. I think that's better.
Thank you very much.
Here, let me try again.
Okay.
Because you forget the fruit thing. Because I was just trying to
You're just spitballing.
I was trying
with
just to
that.
fill time a little bit.
Right.
I mean, even though we don't have a specific time.
And we've been kind of going long.
Where have we been going long?
We've been going long.
We could cut it here.
So, the thing is, people want to make friends. What are some ways that you have made friends as an adult? Because you came here as an older adult without really knowing anyone.
To Austin, I did.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a lot of friends.
Well, one way is to start a podcast with someone.
That's the obvious way.
And I mean, kind of, we don't want you to do that necessarily because...
well, here's the thing. If you start it and you live in Austin, you're going to be the number 2, best case
and
scenario, you're the
you
number 2 friendship-based podcast in Austin.
And you should definitely watch your back. I would say watch your back. I would say
if you're in Omaha,
get an alarm system. Maybe check under your car for a tracking device. Maybe make sure your brake lines aren't cut before you start driving, or that there isn't something like a bomb planted in your car. Because if you come to this town and you start a friendship fucking podcast on my fucking watch, you're not going to make it very long. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you.
So anyway.
So it's like a good cop, bad cop thing, which I think is a good dynamic for friends, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You're always the bad cop. And a lot of people say that you're mean and too aggressive. And that I'm like
a lot of people say
nice
that
you're
withholding and cold. So there's different different opinions and different versions.
That's that's not even
people,
related to, it's not good cop, cold withholding cop. It's good cop, bad cop, or it's
But you didn't say anyone said I was bad. You said that they said that I was mean.
You're bad. You're bad. You're the bad cop, and I'm the good cop.
You're
good
bad.
Cop is nice. Bad cop is mean. You're mean.
Good cop is cold. Good cop is cold because
good cop's not cold. He's warm.
You know why he's so happy? You know why he's so happy? Because he doesn't recognize his real emotions.
No,
okay, he's not living in reality.
Good cop goes, would you like some Cheez-Its? Would you like
You think people give you Cheez-Its at the police station?
They have to.
Cheez-Its?
They have to have carbs.
Like, you have a right to remain silent. You have a right to request Cheez-Its.
That's a commercial. That's a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
Did you watch the Super Bowl commercials? I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't watch them.
They were, I think, I would say better than last year, but still not that good.
When the Super Bowl was playing, I was on an airplane from Las Vegas and extremely, extremely hungover. I woke up feeling amazing, like $1 million. But that's because I had gone to bed like a couple hours before. So I was still drunk.
You were drunk. You were drunk, yeah.
Breakfast drunk, yeah. Yeah, still drunk. And
that's a good
another
phrase.
Thing. Yeah,
that's a good.
We should
phrase.
put it on a t-shirt.
We should copyright that.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so I felt great, and I just kept waiting for it to hit. We were all joking because a lot of us felt kind of good. We're like, I don't know, it felt great. Maybe we missed it. Maybe we missed the boat on that one.
And that was just the booze talking again.
And speaking of friendship, I was at a bachelor party this weekend.
Bachelor
party. Yes, I'm in a groom's party.
And you are the best man?
I am not the best man. I don't know if there is a best
boy.
Well, maybe there is a best boy. I hope there is. But yeah, I'm in the groom's party, and it was a great weekend. But we did drink a lot and stay up really late. But what was amazing about it, and speaking of friendship, is I go to a bunch of bachelorette parties all the time. This is my first bachelor party. Mm-hmm. And bachelorettes, it's like, we're fucking drinking, we're at the pool, we're fucking
screaming,
going crazy, right? Drunk as hell. And this one, everyone was really drunk, but it was emotional. So the first night, my friend who's getting married went around the table and talked about everyone, because some people didn't know each other, doing that thing, and how they met and why they were special to him. And everyone was crying. It was just every person crying at the table.
Was it all men or
mostly men? There were 3 women, and the rest were men.
And out of how many?
10.
10. 3 out of 10. 30%.
Ain't bad.
70% men.
Yeah.
30% women.
Typical, right? I know. It's like,
Yeah, I don't
totally
like those
unfair.
odds.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway,
and everyone
back
was
to
very
the show.
emotional, crying. And then the second night, we said things about him, and we were all crying that night.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got to the airport. Felt really good actually entering the plane, and then I'd say about 10 minutes in.
Oh yeah, and then you're trapped, and
Things were rough.
The air is
Yeah.
like kind of stale.
So right when I was walking in, I went, I don't feel so good, and I thought I need something to watch. And I didn't have anything to watch on the plane, so I frantically went on Netflix.
What a nightmare!
Hit download, and I was waiting for one episode of The Office to download.
Oh please!
It did, but
And it
then that's
did.
all I had. And
So you
I was
watched it
anxious.
5
Yes,
times.
I watched it over and over while I writhed around in the seat next to me, going like, "Ugh."
And your stomach's probably like,
It was horrible. It
and
was
your
horrible.
butt's probably going. But the nice thing about being on an airplane is no one can hear you.
You've said that so many times that it is
Fart.
very apparent that it's true for like a big thing that you care about in your
What,
life
that
and
no
your air
one
travel.
cares that you fart?
Yeah, I wasn't farting though. I was like more feeling like I was just gonna
Poop.
die.
Yeah.
Like it was horrible. But drinking with friends is an important part. And if you don't drink, I'm sorry, but it is a really good way to bond. And that's evident
It
from
loosens everything.
from our very beginnings.
One of our early episodes.
Episode number 2.
Okay, can I interrupt? Are you done with the story, or you have
Yeah,
more?
I'm just doing things.
Okay, so
just
here's what
filling
I need
time.
to know because I fly alone a lot,
Yeah, I know.
and I don't have anyone to go with. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually, because I don't want to pay the extra money to choose like window or aisle. So I'm usually in between two people
Yeah.
that I don't know. And I just, first of all, I don't know how to start conversation. And then also I don't really know, because I think there's been a time or two where I like talked to someone. I think I sat next to someone semi-famous once, but I didn't know him, but I think he was like the basketball coach of like the University of Illinois or something. Or maybe he was a basketball player. I don't really remember. It was a while ago. And we like kind of talk, me and this person. But I feel like this person, if they're like sort of known, they would maybe be used to like chatting with people.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how like the conversation ends, or how do you like,
Well, the flight ends, right?
I know, but what if you're like kind of over the conversation? You're stuck there. They're still here. So you just go like, all right, I'm going to.
Yeah, it's
You have
treacherous.
to tell them?
It's treacherous because I had a lady do that to me one time.
What?
Where she wouldn't stop talking to me. My neck was hurting from twisting my neck over to look
You're
at her.
staring at her,
And
yeah.
then she started going, my ears, like her ears were clogged. And I was like, what the fuck? So since she was involving me in her ear situation, she was pressing the call button. The flight attendant was coming and telling her to hold her nose and blow out of her ears.
Hold
and like,
her nose? She had the flight attendant hold her nose?
no, the flight attendant told her to hold her
Oh.
nose. And then it just
I
like
thought
turned
she
into this whole
asked the
thing.
flight
And
attendant.
it was like, I thought, you know what? I can't talk to anybody on the plane anymore.
You
And
can't
I
talk.
haven't.
You can't.
Since then I haven't actually.
There's people
Sometimes I put my earbuds in, don't plug them into anything.
There was a woman who was sitting next to me, and I could tell she was like freaking out. And I hear those stories of like a stranger helping someone who's freaking out on a plane. And I wanted to help her. Like I wanted to be like, do you need, but I just didn't know what to say or like how to say
you
it.
never do.
And, so then she just, she had a real big panic attack. She passed out. And then when we landed,
She passed out?
When we landed, I said, I think she's drunk. And then I had her ejected. So it all worked out in the end, but it's like, it was awkward.
I had a weird moment with someone on the way to Vegas. The man sitting next to me, first of all, now I had my mask on, of course.
Of course, Laura
that-
flies with a Wu-Tang, what is it?
I fly
Coronavirus
I fly with a surgical mask when
Oh,
I fly.
before, you
but
did
yeah,
it
it's not just for
before the
coronavirus. Like I
coronavirus.
don't give a fuck about coronavirus. I just give a fuck about
Flu.
all
You don't want
viruses.
flu. You
Yeah,
don't want-
I got shit to do. I've got to sing. Like I don't have time for this shit. So I wear masks. I also take a big thing. I always have like a fresh pack when I go on a plane of
Underwear.
wipes.
Oh.
And I wipe everything down. Every surface, everywhere. So the man sits down next to me and he picks up my seatbelt and puts the wrong one. And I'm like, I just cleaned that motherfucker.
Grubby, dirty
Exactly.
hands.
So then I picked it up like like this in front of him.
And he knew.
Yeah. I did it on purpose to be like, quit touching my shit, bro. Like, let me establish now. I don't want to be touched. I don't want you breathing on me, touching me, whatever. So I clean it off again and I like snap it back like, motherfucker, made me waste another wipe. I need these things to last me. I got a lot of shit to wipe down on this fucking plane. So we go down the jetway and we make it up into there and we're going up and you can hear the engine. It's a shitty, I flew fucking Frontier. So it was like a shitty plane and it's, and then all of a sudden you don't hear that noise anymore.
Yeah. It's a little scary.
And you don't feel the propulsion anymore. It almost feels like we're just like
that kind of happened to me on my recent American Airlines flight.
I'm like kind of looking around and I look at the guy and we look at each other like for a minute. We both looked and made eye contact like, what the fuck's happening right now? And you can tell.
It brought you together.
Yeah. And then he did the fucking sign of the cross.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Oh.
And then that scared me even more. I'm like, okay, so he thinks it
thinks
too.
He's
and then
gonna die.
We're off. And then I was thinking, I can't be next to this motherfucker. We don't need to be next to each other. That's when I recognized that's not a friend I need because we would only hype each other up. And sometimes you need one that's hyped and one that goes, hey, hang on, sister. We're fine.
We're fine. That's a normal thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that happened to me on did I tell you about this? When I flew into Austin after Christmas break, we were coming in for landing and the weather was bad. It was like rainy. And there was that recall problem with I think it was the Boeing planes where they ended up going upwards and they tried to override the system, but they couldn't override the automatic whatever.
That's so scary.
So we were coming in for the landing and we were descending rapidly and we were coming in for the landing. And then all of a sudden they blast on the engines and it's as fast as we can go again. And we start going up
serious?
At a pretty steep angle. And it was horrifying. And everyone's just looking around at each other. Same thing you're talking about. But we were literally they're literally flight attendants prepare for landing, all that stuff. And then there's just and we're going up and it sounds like the thing's going to explode because it's pushing it to the limit. And now we're going at a steep incline. And then it felt like 5 minutes later, the pilot's oh yeah, we were told we need to switch runways. So we're doing that. We're going to swing around. And it's couldn't you just say that
and
while
also,
it was
how about
happening?
Get your shit together, airlines. You got people coming in for a landing like that and they're going to the wrong place and you're making them pull out last second.
I assume that's why it had to be so abrupt is
Jesus
they were coming in and there's probably other planes.
Yeah,
and
you guys would have
and
crashed and died.
I don't know. I think it was, maybe there was someone on the runway or
there's
whatever. But it's
obviously a reason that you did the last minute.
It was
do that.
not good. So yeah, planes are horrible.
Yeah, I know. I get really paranoid. One time I was on with my sister and we got to where we were and then it was we were just circling for a really long time.
Yeah.
But they weren't telling us anything.
Mm-hmm. Why? I wish they would tell us.
And so I get that bugs me and I start thinking things and I'm he's trying to run us out of gas. I said to my sister, I'm he's trying to run us out of gas.
Oh no.
And she's like, no, he's not. And
that's
I'm
good. Okay, good balance.
And I'm like, okay, well, all right. And then some more time's going on and I'm like, all right, somebody has to go in there.
Go in there.
Yeah, I get very someone's got to take action now. I'm not going to be the one that just sits there while our plane runs out of gas and we all die. So I'm like, somebody has to go in there, Rachel. Someone has to do something. And she's like, no. And I'm like, if I don't go in there, no one's going to go in there. I'm getting all.
Well, it is a funny thing where you have that
no
thought
control.
Occurs to you where you're like, am I going to die because I'm being too polite?
Exactly.
And I'm not just hey, what's going on? You need to tell me what's happening with this plane.
Well, apparently
but we're all just timidly oh, I guess we're going to either, fly straight into the air and then dive bomb or, whatever is going to happen.
But apparently women that has been a reason that women have been murdered and raped is from being polite. Someone being where they shouldn't be or whatever and not saying hey, motherfucker, get the fuck away from me. And because you're too scared, so I'm entering a new phase in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've always been kind of
down
bold.
the door of the pilot.
No. Metaphorically, yeah.
I
am going to start speaking up for myself and standing up for myself and stop being afraid.
This is a bad example because clearly you shouldn't have stood up for yourself in that moment.
But let me ask you, what if I was right? But what if I was right?
Well, that's the thing. It's if you're wrong, you might get arrested,
right.
But you're alive.
Right.
And if you're right, you might have saved
a bunch of lives. So
past crew, yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Well, but that's the thing. But I think most of the time you're probably being irrational.
Yeah, I know. I am most of the time.
Not you, but you.
But I am you.
But just generally, you
don't want to fly with me, but I think you and I would be great buds for travel.
I think you would be
we
bad.
We would balance each other out
I think you would be bad for me because you'd put that in my head.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do anything. You'd be like, stop it. You're embarrassing me.
No, maybe you would help take my mind off it. I'd be like, well, if Laura thinks it must not be. That's an insane idea.
Yeah.
But I was scared. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was very scared.
Yeah. See, my sister doesn't even react. She's like, no, you're not going to do that. I'm like, yeah, I am. Watch me right now. Here I go. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm not going to do it.
Well, and I'm always like, there had to be the first plane that had the malfunction.
Thank you.
I wasn't attributing it to pilots wanting to run out of gas.
Let me just say, it wouldn't be the first pilot to try to crash a plane. Okay.
True. Right.
So I'm just saying.
And a lot of times they go, oh, there were no warning signs. We didn't know.
Well, when they're circling for an hour in the air and there's only a certain amount of gas on that plane.
You think it's an hour?
It was long enough to where I started getting crazy. And I wasn't going to get crazy over like 10 minutes. I started getting crazy to where I was thinking he really is doing this. And the longer that went, it just kept going and going. And I know we were at our destination. So that means you've already used a lot of the gas to get to our destination. So we need to land soon.
It could have just been a tax thing. We're like, oh, we got to spit out some more gas so we can get more gas.
Or it could be a sick fucker who wanted to fuck with me.
With you?
Yeah.
Personally?
Well, maybe. What if it was someone I knew and they saw me coming on the way in and they said, oh, that bitch.
I wish I
she
knew
wouldn't give me a date. She'll regret it now.
Do you have a lot of
suitors?
People who you turn down for dates?
On Instagram.
Oh, well now, I mean, that doesn't really count because I think it's easy to turn down someone if you're married. You say, I don't think my husband would want me to
Why
go
would
on a
that
date
have
with
to be
you.
the reason? How about I don't know you? I don't know you at all, and you barely know how to write proper grammar.
Yeah, but the grammar, but I don't know people, and I go on dates with them.
Okay, how about this? You're ugly. You want me to say that?
No, I'm not. I'm
out of your league.
That's why it is. Like, I still think the easiest thing.
I don't like to tell people my personal. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Okay.
I really do have weird stalker type people on social media with like the music stuff, and I don't like to tell them I'm married. I don't like to say anything about my personal life at all. I actually took all that information off of like Facebook. I took off my hometown. I took off a bunch of things.
Why? What do you?
Because what if they're psychotic and they want to find where he lives and want to or find where he fucking works and go to his work and do something? I don't know. I mean, you can honestly. I mean, your super fans probably listen to this. Who are your stalker fans? Probably listen to this show. They may. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, there's some weird ones, and I don't like. I don't like to talk to them about my personal life or tell them anything personal about me, because there's been people who show up to things where I'm like, okay. Whoa. Yeah. Well, and when you have events that you promote that you want people to go to, it's easy for them to find you. Yeah. I just don't want them to know about my personal life too much. I don't know. It just freaks me out. I don't like them knowing anything at all. Sometimes they'll message like, I know you're married, but damn. And I want to say, how do you know I'm married? Because I really don't talk about that or post about it. But damn. Yeah. Anyway, so social media is a great place to make new friends. Friends. You can. Let's do an acrostic right now, and that's how I'll end it. F? Yeah. Okay. Are we doing one together? Yeah, of course. Great. F. F. Feels. Feels right. FR. Mm-hmm. In. Every. Nook. Oh. This isn't friendship. Well, it's hard now because we didn't give us a word to really... In every nook. Well, you don't have to say nook. In every... What was it? Nifty, like, because, an adjective. Right. Well, what was the F? Feels right in every nifty... I want to say something like situation. Every nifty... Dorm. I'm just going to go with dorm. Because a lot of people make friends in dorms in college. A lot of people don't make friends in dorms. And this is actually a specific acrostic for friends in the 70s. Nifty dorms. Nifty dorms. Yep. Neato. Nifty. Okay. Well, you can ruminate on it. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. This is Heavy Friending, and we appreciate every single one of you, every listener out there, except for any of my stalkers who are listening right now. Please stop researching me and Googling me and trying to find me. I don't want to be found. I want to be a mystery. Okay? Leave me alone. Nifty. Go away. I have enough friends. Thank you. And I'm married. See, that's easy. Are you happy? That's easy. It's not. What if they loved me so much and then they wanted to kill John?
Yeah.
In every nifty day. Feels right.
In every
nifty day.
I don't like nifty.
Okay. In every new day.
Yeah.
Okay, we did it. Hell yeah. Do you want to high five one last time?
GoDaddy.cum.
Nice.